Audiobook summary of Fair Play by Rodsky. Introduction: a game-changing approach to domestic equality. In Fair Play, Rodsky introduces a revolutionary system to help couples achieve equality in the home. Rooted in her personal experiences and extensive research, the book targets the invisible labor disproportionately shouldered by women, especially after marriage and children. Rodsky, a Harvard-trained lawyer, decided to bring fairness back into domestic life through a structured yet human-centered approach. She unveils a system called Fair Play, a card game that divides household responsibilities in a way that acknowledges both partners' time, values, and humanity. With wit, empathy, and practical tools, Fair Play isn't just a self-help guide, it's a call to rethink and reshape how we live, work, and love. The problem: the myth of the superwoman. Rodsky begins by describing the emotional and mental exhaustion that women face from managing households, raising children, and pursuing careers, all while society celebrates their ability to do it all. This myth of the superwoman is not only toxic but also deeply unrealistic. In heterosexual partnerships, women typically take on this default caretaker role. They are expected to notice what needs to be done, remember it, plan for it, and then do it. Rodsky names this mental load invisible labor and shows how it silently erodes self-worth, relationships, and joy. The worst part? Many women don't even recognize this as a systemic problem. They internalize the chaos, believing they're failing rather than realizing the system itself is flawed. The wake-up call, a text message that changed everything. The turning point in Rodsky's life came through a moment of pure frustration, a text she sent to her husband about noticing a blueberry shortage. That message symbolized everything she had endured, being the sole keeper of domestic operations. Her husband's casual reaction led her to realize she wasn't just overwhelmed, she was unsupported. This moment sparked her journey to understand why women, even in modern, progressive households, still bore the brunt of domestic labor. Rodsky decided it was time to build a new system, one that treated domestic responsibilities with the same respect and intentionality as a job. The research: stories from real couples. To create her system, Rodsky interviewed over 500 men and women. She gathered stories across socio-economic, cultural, and marital spectrums. Her goal was to understand the shared pain points and how couples were, or weren't, navigating them. Patterns emerged: women were overextended, undervalued, and unseen. Even when partners were willing to help, the lack of a clear system led to resentment, micromanagement, or half-hearted contributions. The key insight? Good intentions aren't enough. Systems, not spontaneity, are what drive lasting change. The Fair Play mindset: shifting beliefs. Before jumping into logistics, Rodsky challenges readers to adopt the Fair Play mindset. It's a radical but necessary shift in how we view domestic labor. The core principles include: all time is created equal. Just because someone earns more money doesn't mean their time is more valuable. Invisible work is real work. Tasks like packing lunches or booking doctor appointments matter. We all deserve to be interesting. Parenthood or partnership shouldn't strip away one's sense of self or ambition. Rodsky argues that only when we believe domestic work is just as vital and complex as paid work can we begin to treat it with fairness. The card game: creating a system. The heart of Fair Play is its game-like system, a set of 100 task cards, each representing a household responsibility, from meal planning to keeping up with family birthdays to home repairs. Each card follows the CPE method: conception, planning, and execution. The person who holds the card takes full ownership of all three stages. For example, holding the dinner card means not just cooking, but planning meals, shopping for ingredients, and making sure meals align with the family schedule. The cards are divided into 4 categories: home, dishes, laundry, cleaning, groceries. Out, travel, family gatherings, social commitments. Caregiving, bedtime routines, school communication, medical care. Magic, spiritual growth, holiday traditions, and emotional labor. Rodsky insists that fairness isn't about splitting cards 50-50ths, but assigning tasks based on what each partner values and excels at, and making those decisions consciously. The 4 rules of the fair play system. Rodsky outlines 4 essential rules for making the system work. Start where you are. There's no need to overhaul your life overnight. Begin by selecting a few cards and identifying pain points. Starting small allows for sustainable progress. Establish your minimum standard of care. Disagreements often come from different standards. One partner may think cleaning the bathroom once a week is fine, the other may expect daily scrubbing. The solution? Agree on a minimum standard of care, master of science, for each card so that both partners are aligned. Ownership equals accountability plus autonomy. True fairness comes when the cardholder owns a task from start to finish without needing to be reminded, managed, or corrected. This builds trust and eliminates nagging. Reclaim your right to be interesting. Rodsky reminds listeners that life isn't just about chores and caregiving. Each person deserves time for creativity, friendships, and personal growth. The system aims to create space for those pursuits, not just balance work and home. Implementation, bringing the system to life. Rodsky recommends starting with a conversation, not an accusation. Present the fair play system as a tool for connection, not criticism. It's not about tallying who does more, but about aligning your partnership with your values. She encourages couples to schedule regular cards check-ins to assess what's working and where improvements are needed. Like any system, fair play requires maintenance, empathy, and honest communication. Some couples may choose to reassign cards monthly, others may keep them static. The goal isn't perfection but progress, and a shared investment in the health of the household. Addressing resistance, common objections. Rodsky acknowledges that change can be uncomfortable. Some partners may resist, arguing that the current system works fine or that they're too busy for structured discussions. To this, Rodsky offers several counterpoints. Chaos is more exhausting than clarity. Lack of fairness leads to resentment, which quietly erodes intimacy. A fair household teaches children gender equity and emotional intelligence. She stresses that the fair play system doesn't diminish spontaneity or love, but strengthens it through mutual respect and reliability. Case studies, transformative stories. Throughout the book, Rodsky includes real-life stories from couples who implemented fair play. One story features a high-powered executive who felt she had lost herself in motherhood. After using fair play with her husband, she reclaimed time for creative writing and reignited her relationship. Another story showcases a couple from a working-class background who struggled with resentment and burnout. By aligning on their MSCs and openly discussing task distribution, they found new harmony in their roles. These stories serve as evidence that the system works across economic classes, cultures, and personality types when both partners commit. Beyond the home, cultural implications. Rodsky expands the discussion to the broader cultural and political context. She highlights how our society often devalues caregiving and unpaid labor, calling for systemic change in workplace policies, parental leave, and gender norms. She believes the home is a microcosm of society. When we create fairness inside households, we're building the foundation for equity in workplaces, governments, and communities. Fair play is not just about dividing chores, it's about rewriting the narrative of what it means to be a partner, a parent, and a person in a modern world. Practical tips and takeaways. Rodsky offers a host of practical takeaways to help readers and listeners take immediate action. Take a time audit, understand how you and your partner currently spend time. This builds awareness before assigning cards. Identify your values, choose the cards that align with what matters most to each partner. Be flexible, life changes, so should your card deck. Revisit and revise regularly. Use language that promotes connection, avoid blame and focus on shared goals. Celebrate wins, acknowledge when things go right. Appreciation fosters motivation. Final thoughts, from resentment to respect. Fair play ends on a hopeful note. Rodsky doesn't promise that the system will solve every problem overnight, but she does offer a path forward. Her framework turns chaos into clarity, resentment into respect, and burnout into balance. Most importantly, fair play reminds us that we all deserve to live full, interesting lives, not just efficient ones. We are not meant to just manage life, but to enjoy it, grow within it, and share it fairly with those we love. Conclusion: a system for equality and joy. Eve Rodsky's Fair Play is more than a guide, it's a movement toward redefining partnership in the 21st century. With humor, heart, and strategic brilliance, she offers a practical system for transforming households into equitable, thriving environments. By acknowledging invisible labor, challenging outdated norms, and creating space for individuality, Fair Play equips couples with the tools to co-create lives that feel just, fulfilling, and free. It's not about who does the dishes. It's about what kind of life you want to build and who you want to build it with.